Morning. It is 6:03 a.m. in my locale. I've been up since 4. Uh, the big guy, he needed to pee and he was a little thirsty. So we've been up since then. It is about 83 degrees, about 65% humidity, and I'm not sure what's going to happen. They say there's a storm coming in. It looked like thunder last night, but never rained. They say that first storm missed us, but the second one's going to slam us. They say. What have we learned from 2015 to right now? Experts aren't. And there are many groups of people in the world who can get paid when they're wrong anyway. Weathermen are one, lawyers are one. So I'll just watch the weather and, take all the necessary steps, but not listen to the experts because experts aren't. All right, let's see. Today's Daily Zen poem. Don't say that only clear water mirrors the moon. Muddy water also reflects the sky. Watch after wind has settled and the waves are calm for a wonderful moon as lovely as before. Lin Chi Chung, 1119. That is kind of cool because the other day I was outside and I was watching the Florida Bay and the sunset was pink. It tends to be that way here, lemonade skies and cotton candy clouds. And I noticed because the water was at low tide that it was very still from the shoreline on out. And one of the things I thought was really neat and just had me staring at it for a while was the pink of the clouds was being reflected into the water where it was still. But where the water started to move a little bit, it wasn't reflected anymore and it was greenish blue. So it was just kind of one of those, oh wow, nature moments that I enjoyed. All right. Moving on to Daily Rune Pull. Oh, we've seen this one before. This is Perth, okay? And it's pulled in the proper sequence, not inverted, okay? So let's take a look. Is it 96 or 86? I never remember. '96. We've done this one before, so I'm going to just go real quick through it. Mystery rune, pointing at the side of heaven, the unknowable, association with the phoenix, the bird that consumes itself in the fire and rises from its own ashes. Powerful changes at work. On the side of the earthly or mundane, there may be surprises and unexpected gains are not unlikely. This is symbolized by the flight of the eagle, which is really funny because yesterday I left the RV because I looked out the window and there was a bald eagle about 50 yards away, and I was able to get not 100% close to it, but enough to see that it was a bald eagle. Soaring free from entanglement, lift yourself from the ordinary life. Nothing external matters here except as it shows you your inner reflection, and isn't that funny? We just read about reflections. Perth means experiencing a psychic death. If need be, let go of everything, no exceptions. Nothing less than renewal of the spirit is at stake. So, we've seen that before, okay? So, it kind of keys into what I was thinking about this morning over my coffee. Okay, so, message of the day. And then we'll go to our case. Let's go to our case overview first, because he's asleep. I don't want to wake him, but I'm going to wake him. There. You'd have seen a 5-pound dog is not that heavy, right? Anything you'd like to say? You did get a snort, guys. Anything else? Go on, I'll feed you in a minute. All right. Today's message. The one thing I keep seeing today, yesterday, was about two things. It was kind of dual. The first was When something goes wrong, don't panic. I had that happen. I'm still putting things on a schedule here, just for an example. Not yesterday, day before. I opened up the freezer when I got home, and stuff didn't feel the way I wanted it to feel. Didn't feel as cold as it was before. And I know that I've got a Dometic, so I know that the fridge and the freezer work together, right? So I said, all right, because the fins are in the fridge. So what I did was I pulled everything out of the freezer, threw it in a cooler, and then I defrosted the freezer overnight. All right. So I did that, washed it out yesterday morning before I talked to you guys, made sure it was nice and clean, and then set it. And when it started to get cold, I loaded all the cold stuff back in the right way. So all the warm stuff was on the bottom, all the cold stuff was at the top, so it would all just hold together. And then last night when I got home, the first thing I did was I took everything out of the refrigerator and I defrosted that. Okay. And I just, so everybody knows, no, I didn't scrub it down. I used hot water in a spray bottle, which did an amazing job. I was very happy with that. I was able to have that entire refrigerator cleaned, and by about 8 o'clock, things were getting colder, so I put everything in it, and this morning I woke up and everything's done. The wrong thing, other than that, because I knew it was coming, so we're going to have to put that on a schedule, was for some reason, Dometic put the drain port for this fridge outside, which is normal. However, there is a GFI outlet kind of off to the side, but right where that would drain. Yesterday morning at 4 a.m., I heard a pop, which meant GFI went out. Nothing was plugged in except for, I think, the MiFi. Went and reset it, no problem. About 5:30, same thing happened. Okay, reset it, no problem. Then after about 6, I could not reset it. I still had all my shore power. I had air conditioning, the microwave worked, all that was doing fine. But I didn't panic. I didn't go, oh my God. I didn't say, it's all garbage. No. I just went, all right. I opened up the GFI port outside, figuring that might be their culprit, and let it sit open all day. Talked to an electrician who happened to be on site who said, yeah, your GFI is probably toast or it's on its way out. So next time you go to town, buy one, or we'll give you one if we have an extra. And this last night I came in before I handled the fridge, pushed the button. Everything's fine, hasn't tripped yet. Okay, mystery of mysteries. We're still going to get the extra part, so if it happens again, we'll just swap it out, okay? All right, next thing. I guess the other message, other than don't freak out, is, being prepared is very key. Having all the spare parts you need if you need them, not being able to scramble. Remember, I'm 50 miles one way from anything unless it's in the maintenance shop. And so what I want to do is make sure that people are well prepared for things. Usually this part here, like we talked about before, okay? I keep seeing a lot of stuff stirring around when I pick my head up above water, and I just kind of shake my head. There's nothing I can do here, but it's coming to me last, so that's fine. Even this storm that they say is coming in, I'm not upset at all. What's the worst thing that would happen? Bring the buckets of plants underneath the RV. Put the bicycle in here for a little bit. That's it. Or I could hang it up on the ladder if I wanted. And probably not the best idea. Probably bring it in here. Just for an evening or two until everything's settled down. I could leave it right next to the RV and then bring it in when I need it because it's covered, but that's it. Other thing is, I know the M22 is going on, and I hope you guys are having a great time. Just let me know, when you guys can bring me in by video because I can't be there right now. So just say it's Friday at 8 o'clock and send me a link and I'll be there. No problem. Whatever time you say is right. Let's see. My daily plan today. I got to go to work. Okay. The house is clean, so I have no problem with that. I'm going to spend 5 hours in my first aid, AED, and CPR class. Choking class. So I'm getting recertified. I think everybody here is getting recertified, which I think is a smart idea. You have to have that. I let mine lapse when I went from the university and I was doing emergency response into a global EHS world because it was not necessary. So I just said, I don't want it. Don't worry about it. I am a little frustrated about this because I had to take some learning modules online before I could even sit for the class. And, they change these things over and over and over again. First it's 20 compressions, then it's 30 compressions, then it's 2 inches, then it's 2.5 inches, then it's semi-neutral, and then it's fully neutral. They change it all the time, and I think they do that, to be honest, because I think it's a money-making opportunity. I really think that this is a way for them to grift money off of others by changing these very small things and then saying, if you don't know these very small things, you're uncertified. The thing that I've seen now that used to show up a little bit, but not as much, is this concept. They used to say, tell them what you're doing. Right? That was the old school way. To tell them what you're doing. Now they're kind of leaning toward obtain consent. It protects you legally. If I have to obtain consent because I see someone choking and I'm going to jump in and help them, my question should automatically be, do I really want to get involved? Why should I worry about legally protecting myself when I'm trying to save another human life? That's the world we're in. That's why I tell all of you, you have to determine if you're going to get involved. And if you choose to get involved, you have to accept the consequences of that involvement. So, unfortunately, I think that that's why a lot of people are desensitized now, because they're afraid to get in trouble. And to be honest, I'm not afraid to get in trouble. I just don't think it's worth it, and I'd rather avoid the stress. I do not want to see somebody come to my door with a pack of papers this thick because I helped you when you slipped on the mud. That's the world we're in. We're supposed to be together and unified and supposed to help each other. At what cost? Your sanity, your savings, your business reputation, whatever that happens to be. Maybe that's the message of the day that just popped out, which is, if you decide to get involved, you have to accept the consequences of getting involved. And you have to decide very quickly, using some very sharp common sense and cognitive skills, whether it's really, really worth it to put your hands in. Wouldn't it be better to put your hands in your stuff? You're making bread. You're stacking cans. You're preparing something. You're learning a new skill. You're doing something. Wouldn't that be a better way to invest your time and decide, that's what I want to be involved in, and I accept the consequences of that because I've learned something, I've done something, and I'm ready, or as ready as I can be when the next thing happens. Other than that, hey, it's Thursday. I can let you guys know on Friday how that class went. I may just be bored to tears because it's just going to be me hanging around, putting the pads on the dummy, tap, shout, tap. It used to be Annie, are you okay? And now it's tap, shout, tap. Another dumbing down to reach the common denominator instead of having the common denominator reach up to gain something of value. It's a great world we live in, isn't it? Why do you think I'm 50 miles away from it? You guys have a good day, and I will catch you tomorrow.